What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the AAA experience, The Authentic Effect with Alexander. We are here with another Masculinity Mondays video, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about confidence, a little bit about standing present in self. I know I've kind of gone over this concept a little bit in this series already, standing present, beyond the frame and within this new energy and space that we've been creating. But how do we really make this into a day-to-day routine? How do we start to take the actions and the new energies that we've been studying and trying to incorporate and actually making them a part of our day-to-day routines? A big factor in that is confidence. We can learn statistics from all over the world. We can get information from any culture, any visual or auditory source. We can get it from anything. But until we feel confident enough in using this information and using these new energies, all it really remains is dormant potential. So we're going to do what we can to realize that dormant potential, and the first step through that is confidence. Let's start to do things that are going to build up our self-confidence. What is it about your day-to-day routine that you feel could use a boost in support, could use a boost in bringing more of yourself to the table? Whatever it is that you want to do, start putting some effort into doing it, whether it's physical fitness, whether it's going after a job that you really want, or picking up a hobby, starting to learn something new that you really want. Do a few things throughout your routine, small things at first, but do things that create a series of feeling successful, of feeling confidence in the area that you are experiencing something in. I don't care if you're doing it in video games. I don't care if you're doing it with books. You give yourself a set limit and you need to read all of these books and then write a report after. I don't care what you're doing, but start to feel out certain things in your life that you can use, or incorporate new things into your life that you can use to start to stack up a feeling of success, a feeling of achievement in your life. That's going to turn any hesitation, any wariness towards using this new presence of self, and it's going to switch it into standing more present in self. A lot of the times when we talk, especially about masculinity in this last few waves of societal changes, a big topic that gets thrown around is toxic masculinity. And it's a scary term to be thrown around frivolously, because masculinity, and I'm sure it's the same thing for femininity, but in a lot of cases men tie their sense of confidence, they tie their sense of selves to how they define themselves as a man and how their masculinity is therefore perceived. When that gets challenged, it's almost like an existential crisis in that case, because the man themselves now has to rewire, or at least reanalyze the wiring on how they've set themselves up within their course of masculinity. So to throw that term around, we need to be really careful with it. And men, when we're receiving or when we're hearing these terms, this is where confidence really steps into play, because fragile egos they don't really have space here. Fragile egos are going to be the first ones to show up because they're so fragile. As soon as they feel that somebody else's success story or any type of challenge towards who they are comes into play, they immediately go on the defensive. That's a fragile ego. Stay confident in yourself. Have presence and an integration with your ego to allow it to empower the best parts of you. Don't struggle with your ego. Don't fight with your ego. Incorporate it and gain confidence through it. Now, this doesn't mean to be cocky, and this doesn't mean to be silent and overly humble either. There's finding a fine line of showing yourself appreciation for your talents, honor for your talents, and the work that you've put in to build yourself as the person that you are. Show yourself some self-love for that. But you don't have to go around boasting it all the time. This is a lesson that I had to learn hard too. When I was growing up, my masculinity was challenged very early on. Very early on. And through that essence of being an adolescent and having that masculinity challenged and no real guiding point to redevelop it or even address the wounds in the first place, I was walking for many years in my youth with a fragile ego, where anytime somebody would come up with an achievement or a talent that they could do, I would take it as a challenge. Like, I'm not capable of doing that, or I don't have talents that this person has. When that's a very wounded perspective, we should be honoring, sharing, cherishing the fact that other people around us and in our circles are blossoming and blooming into the best effects of what they can do in any given experience. It's when we can start to show that level of appreciation and gratitude that we can switch how we view our own talents and our own experiences and what it is that we bring to the table. That's the whole point of finding these little things that can grant you achievement throughout your day-to-day routine, so you can start to change that feeling of being challenged into, wow, look at what we can do. Look at the things that all of us can do, and I'm so proud of us. Use things as a set of example. If someone else can do it, then you can find your own version of that happiness. Don't try to copy and paste stuff. Get into a point of feeling confident, steady, and ready in your own presence. There's not a challenge out there that you can't meet. Stop taking it as a challenge and start taking it as an invitation to share, to bring your full self to the table and be a part of somebody else's growth process. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. We're going to see you on the next one. Have a fantastic week. I love you guys. Take care.